The air was thick with the scent of jet fuel and rain. My black sedan purred down the slick streets of Charleston, South Carolina. The airport was just a blur in the rearview mirror now, yet the weight of my return pressed heavy on my chest. I wasn't supposed to be here. Not yet. Not like this. James had died 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks of numbness, of casseroles and condolences, of people hugging me too tightly and whispering, "Stay strong," like that was some magic spell to knit a shattered heart. I had planned to fly to my sister's home in Oregon for a month. To escape the house. The memories. The absence. But in my rush to leave, I had forgotten the will. James's will. He had kept it in his study. The study I hadn't stepped foot into since the ambulance took him away. That room had been his sanctuary, filled with his leather-bound books, his tobacco pipe, the mahogany desk he loved more than any of his gadgets. It smelled like cedarwood and old paper, like him. I parked in front of the house, a sprawling colonial on East Battery, overlooking the restless Atlantic. The windows stared back at me, blank and cold, like eyes that had seen too much. I wasn't ready to go in, but I had to. The keys trembled in my hand as I unlocked the front door. The house was silent, except for the ticking of the grandfather clock in the hallway. It was past midnight. I had planned on grabbing the document and leaving, but something felt off. Voices, low, urgent, coming from the study. Froze. Was someone here? A thief? My heart pounded as I tiptoed closer, my heels silent on the polished oak floors. I stopped just outside the study and pressed my back against the wall. "She's old, fragile," a man's voice said. My son's voice. "Daniel. Just push her to sell the house. Once it's ours, we can renovate and flip it. Do you know how much a place like this could fetch in Charleston's market?" A woman laughed softly. Icy, calculated. "Amanda. His wife. And the account," she whispered. "Are you sure she won't notice?" "She won't," Daniel replied. "Dad trusted me with access years ago. If we move quickly, she'll never see it coming." My knees went weak. I clutched the doorframe to keep from collapsing. My son. The boy I had nursed through chickenpox. The boy whose tears I had dried when he broke his arm in Little League. The man who now plotted to steal everything his father and I had built. I swallowed the rising bile in my throat and stepped back. Slowly. Silently. Not yet. I couldn't confront them, not like this. I needed a plan. For the first time in weeks, the fog in my mind cleared. In its place rose a quiet, simmering fury. They thought I was weak. They thought grief had broken me. They were wrong. This house. This life. James's legacy. It wasn't theirs to take. It was mine to protect. And I would. The Charleston air was thick with salt and heat, the kind that clung to your skin and made your clothes feel heavy. Anna drove down East Bay Street in silence, her hands gripping the steering wheel tighter than necessary. The streets were empty at this hour, save for the occasional headlights cutting through the darkness. Her husband's funeral had been a blur, and she had planned to escape to her sister's home in Oregon for a few months. But she couldn't shake the nagging thought, the will. James's will. Left in his study, untouched. She hadn't been inside his study since that day. The day the ambulance doors slammed shut, and she knew without words that he wouldn't return. James had always been the strong one, her anchor in a storm. Now she felt adrift. When she pulled into the driveway of their colonial house, memories surged. The oak tree Daniel used to climb. The porch swing James had fixed so many times it became a joke between them. She stepped out, her heels clicking against the stone path. The house loomed in the moonlight, its windows dark and watchful. As Anna inserted her key, a voice inside caught her off guard. She froze. She'll never know, a man's voice said. Familiar. Daniel. Her son. She's fragile, another voice whispered. Amanda. Anna's breath caught in her throat. She pressed herself against the wall just outside the study. Their words carried through the cracked door. We push her to sell the house, Daniel murmured. The market's hot. We flip it, split the profits. And her accounts? Amanda asked. She doesn't even know half of what's in there. Dad trusted me. If we act fast. Anna's stomach knotted. Her own son. Her only child. Planning to strip her of everything. She backed away slowly, careful not to make a sound. Her hands trembled, but her mind began to sharpen. If they thought she was weak, they'd soon learn otherwise. Anna didn't sleep that night. Instead, she wandered the house like a ghost, touching the banister James had polished every spring, the kitchen counter where she'd prepared decades of meals. Every corner held memories of their life together. She sat in his study at dawn. Sunlight streamed through the heavy curtains, dust motes dancing in the beams. She pulled open drawers, searching. At last, she found the envelope, James's will. As she held it, she noticed a smaller envelope beneath it, addressed to her in his handwriting. Anna, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I fear you'll need this more than you realize. Trust no one blindly, not even family. I've arranged everything so you'll be safe. Don't let them take what's yours. Love always, James. Her hands shook as she set the letter down. For the first time since his death, she didn't cry. Instead, she felt a cold, steady resolve settle over her. Anna called her lawyer, David Whitmore, an old friend of James's from their college days at Duke University. David was surprised to hear from her so soon. I thought you'd be in Oregon by now, he said. I've had a change of plans, Anna replied. Can we meet? Privately. At his downtown Charleston office, David reviewed the will with furrowed brows. Everything's airtight. But Anna, James mentioned a separate account. Did you find any documentation? She nodded. A journal entry. Coordinates for a safety deposit box at First Federal. Smart man, David said. We'll retrieve it together. Until then, don't let on. Not to Daniel, not to anyone. Anna left his office feeling strangely alive. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't simply surviving. She had a purpose. Anna returned home that evening to find Amanda in the kitchen. Oh, Anna. We didn't expect you back so soon. Amanda's smile was all teeth. I forgot something important, Anna said, her voice steady. She noted the way Amanda's eyes flicked toward the study. You've been through so much, Amanda said sweetly. Daniel and I just want to help. Maybe we could handle the house for you. It's such a burden. Anna smiled faintly. That's kind of you. I'll think about it. As Amanda left the room, Anna's fingers tightened around her teacup. Let them think I'm considering it. Let them underestimate me. Days passed. Anna played the grieving widow perfectly. She let them bring her groceries, offer advice, even feign concern for her well-being. All the while, she and David worked quietly behind the scenes. They retrieved the safety deposit box. Inside were documents for a trust fund in Anna's name, untouched for decades, and a key to a private villa in the Outer Banks. James's secret gift. You're in a stronger position than they could ever imagine, David said. Anna nodded, a spark igniting in her chest. It's time to remind them whose name is on the deed. The villa in the Outer Banks was even more beautiful than Anna imagined. Ocean breezes rolled in through the open windows, carrying the scent of salt and freedom. For the first time in weeks, she felt the tension in her shoulders ease. Yet even in this sanctuary, She couldn't shake the echoes of Daniel and Amanda's voices. David called with updates. They've started making inquiries about the house, Anna. They think you're fragile enough to sign it over soon. Good, Anna replied coolly. Let them. Anna began withdrawing funds from the trust, moving them quietly into new accounts. She transferred ownership of James's company shares to herself, a move that required finesse and left no paper trail for Daniel to discover. At a lunch meeting with old family friend Margaret Livingston, Anna learned more about Daniel's financial troubles. He's leveraged up to his neck, Margaret confided. Amanda's spending habits haven't helped. Anna smiled. Perfect. Daniel and Amanda arrived unannounced one afternoon. We were worried, Daniel said. You haven't returned our calls. Anna put on her best fragile smile. I've just needed time. Amanda clasped her hands together. We're only thinking of your future, Anna. The house is so big. Too much for one person. Why not let us handle the sale? I appreciate that, Anna said softly. I'll consider it. Inside she was seething. They think they're so clever. David reported Amanda had been making discreet inquiries about James's other assets. Anna decided it was time to tighten the noose. She authorized the sale of an old property in Savannah under her name. The funds were moved offshore beyond Daniel's reach. She began keeping a diary, documenting every manipulation and threat, preparing for the moment she would expose them. Daniel's tone grew more urgent in his calls. Mom, we need to act fast before the market dips. You don't want to lose money. Anna answered sweetly. I'll think about it, dear. Amanda's texts were less subtle. Don't make us push harder. You're not as strong as you think. Anna stared at the message, her jaw set. We'll see. Anna met with a private investigator in Raleigh. Find out everything. Counts, investments, secrets. I want leverage. A week later, she had her ammunition. Daniel's gambling debts and Amanda's extramarital affairs. With this, Anna began preparing her ultimate move. At a family dinner she arranged, Anna revealed just enough to send chills down Amanda's spine. You two have been busy, she said, sipping her wine. Plotting my downfall while smiling in my face. I wonder what your friends would think if they knew. Daniel's face drained of color. What are you talking about? Anna's eyes glittered. You'll find out soon enough. Anna moved swiftly. She sold the Charleston house to a preservation society that would restore it as a museum in James's honor. She moved her assets beyond their reach and left Daniel and Amanda with nothing. Her final gift to them. Letter. To my son and his wife, I built this life with my bare hands, and you thought you could steal it. This isn't weakness. This is power. Anna settled into her villa in the Outer Banks. She spent her days walking the beach, reconnecting with old friends, and even volunteering at a local library. The world felt wide open again. Months later, Anna received a letter from her grandson, Ethan. Grandma, I'm sorry for Mom and Dad. Can I come visit you? Tears welled in Anna's eyes. Perhaps the next generation could heal. She wrote back simply. The door is always open. The Outer Banks were peaceful, but Anna knew peace was a fragile thing. Her grandson Ethan's letter stayed close to her heart. She had replied, and now he was coming to visit. At night, she walked the shoreline, thinking of how to explain the rift to him without poisoning his view of his parents. David called one morning. Daniel and Amanda are contesting the will. They've hired an aggressive firm out of New York. Anna's lips curled in a faint smile. Let them waste their money. Ethan arrived that weekend, a shy young man with his father's eyes but not his coldness. They spent hours talking, About his college dreams, about James's legacy, about resilience. "I don't want to be like them," Ethan confessed one night over cocoa. "You won't be," Anna assured him. "You get to choose who you become." Anna, through David, filed countersuits against Daniel and Amanda for financial mismanagement of family assets during James's illness. Private investigators uncovered offshore accounts Daniel had tried to hide. "This isn't about revenge," Anna told David. "It's about protecting what's left of my family." News of Daniel's gambling debts and Amanda's affairs began circulating in Charleston society circles. Invitations to charity events dried up. Their facade crumbled. Amanda lashed out in a voicemail. "You've ruined us, Anna. You'll regret this." Anna deleted the message without flinching. Anna received an unexpected visit from Margaret Livingston. "You're not alone," Margaret said. "There are more of us, women who've been written off, who've quietly taken back control. Join us." Anna found herself part of a circle of widows and divorcees who supported each other in secret. For the first time, she felt part of something larger. Amanda filed a defamation suit. It backfired spectacularly when Anna's lawyers presented evidence of Amanda's manipulation and fraud. The case was dismissed with prejudice. Amanda left the courthouse in tears, the press swarming. Daniel tried to reconcile, showing up at Anna's villa. "I made mistakes," he admitted. "But we're family. Can't we start over?" Anna looked at him for a long time. Family isn't defined by blood alone. It's defined by trust. She closed the door gently in his face. Anna focused on rebuilding. She worked with Margaret's Circle to establish a scholarship fund in James's name for underprivileged students in Charleston. Ethan volunteered to help, finding a sense of purpose alongside his grandmother. Anna and Ethan returned to Charleston for the opening of the James Whitmore Memorial Library. As Anna cut the ribbon, cameras flashed. She felt no fear of her past shadows. 1 year later, Anna sat on her villa's porch, a mug of tea warming her hands. Ethan had graduated with plans to attend law school. Letters from other women poured in. Stories of quiet battles and victories. Anna smiled. She had come back from the airport for a will. She had left with her life. And now she was free. The sun was setting in hues of gold and crimson over the Outer Banks, casting long shadows across Anna's porch. She sat wrapped in a light shawl, the ocean breeze carrying with it the soft whispers of waves and gulls. A steaming mug of chamomile tea rested in her hands as Ethan sat beside her, sketchbook in his lap. "Do you ever think about Charleston?" Ethan asked softly, eyes fixed on the horizon. Anna smiled faintly. "Every day. But not with regret anymore. That city taught me to fight. To rise." Ethan nodded, his pencil pausing. "You've become a legend there, you know. People whisper about the woman who outmaneuvered everyone." Anna let out a gentle laugh. "I didn't want to be a legend. I only wanted peace. But sometimes peace requires war." The mailbox creaked as the postman delivered another bundle of letters. Anna rose slowly, her knees stiff but her mind as sharp as ever. The envelopes were from across the country, women of all ages sharing their stories of betrayal, loss, and quiet triumphs. One letter read, "Dear Anna, I never believed I could start over at 62. But after hearing about you, I took the first step. I sold the house my children were fighting over and moved into a small apartment near the sea. For the first time I feel free. Thank you for giving me courage." Anna's eyes misted. She passed the letter to Ethan, who read it with a quiet reverence. "You've become more than a grandmother," he said. "You're a voice for all of them." "Not a voice," Anna corrected gently. "A mirror." I only remind them who they already are. Later that evening, Anna logged onto the Grandma Stories Vault website. The stories had multiplied. Thousands of voices sharing pain and resilience. Her own tale was pinned to the top. I came back from the airport to get my husband's will, but overheard my son and his wife's plan. The comments were filled with gratitude, solidarity, and promises of change. Your story saved me. I thought I was alone until I found this. Anna felt warmth bloom in her chest. She had turned her pain into a lifeline for others. The next morning, Ethan packed his bags for law school. As they hugged goodbye, Anna whispered, "Be kind, but never let kindness be mistaken for weakness." "I won't, Grandma," he promised. "I'll make you proud." "I already am." Anna watched him drive away, her reflection in the window catching her eye. For a moment, she barely recognized the woman staring back, not because she looked older, but because she looked stronger. She turned toward the sea. Here on this quiet shore, Anna Whitmore had built her new life, not with bricks and deeds, but with memory, dignity, and the unbreakable will of a woman underestimated one too many times. The waves whispered, and she whispered back, a quiet promise to every woman yet to rise. "You are stronger than they think." And with that, Anna smiled, finally at peace.